Greetings, people of the internet. This is Cardiacs, and today is another video. And in this video, I kind of had a little bit of a problem with doing the drawing in the first place because usually I do these at my friend's house, Ginger, whose book these illustrations are based on, except that her power went out and my laptop, my laptop's battery lasted maybe 2 hours. I got through the sketch, a little bit of color, and a chunk of the quote-unquote line art, but at that point my computer was at 10%, so I had to... My options were to either wait for the power to come back on so I could charge up my computer, or I could just go ahead and leave and finish it at home. And I was kind of wanting to just go ahead and finish it at home because I had some errands to run, and if I stayed and waited for the power to come back on, then I would have been exhausted and not would have wanted to do the errands. So I ended up leaving before it was done, and I kind of wish I'd stayed because apparently the power came back not too long after I left, maybe like an hour later. But anyway, I got the most important details from Ginger before I had to go, and I also one of the main things that I enjoy about doing these illustrations for her is that she has me do lots of things that I'm not used to doing. For example, the background in this is something I've never tried before, and I struggled with it quite a bit. At first, I was very much like, oh god, what am I doing? I'm not going to be able to do this. This is just terrible. What do I even do? Do I even continue with this? Do I try to go a different route? And, just kind of freaking out a little bit, but I kept playing with it and kept playing and playing and playing, and eventually it started to look decent. My cat will not leave me alone when I'm doing voiceover. She's a little brat. She's been getting on the bookshelves lately and knocking the books down, and it's driving me absolutely up the wall. So, yep. I really don't know what to do with her. I keep trying to play with toys with her to drain her energy so she won't climb the shelves, but then she loses interest in the toy, and I can't get her to run out of energy, so it drives me absolutely insane. Doesn't help that the bookshelves are on the other side of the room from my desk, so I have to get up and chase her away from the books and then sit back down and then get back up to chase her away from the books and then rinse, wash, repeat. Very, very, very irritating. Anyway, on the bright side, though, is when I got back from doing the beginning of this piece, I had to download an update for my editing software, which is Wondershare Filmora. And for the longest time, I wasn't able to choose a speed between 5 times and 10 times. And not only can I do that now, but I can also go into the decimals instead of whole numbers. And I can also go from 10 to 100 times speed. And wow, I played around a little bit and just poked the 100 times speed, and it was like, boop, head, boop, torso, boop, rest of the body. Just so fast. Couldn't even keep up with it, so yeah. I guess I can use that for vlogs or something if I'm doing something that would be not the most interesting to watch in full speed. No, not full speed. In real time. There we go. I got it. I get it in the end. Anyway, so that's neat. I also noticed some other little features, but I haven't really looked into them quite yet. I've just been trying to get this illustration done as quickly as possible so I would have it done for Ginger, because when I'm at her house I can get an illustration done pretty quick. I have very little distractions, and that's both good and bad. It's good because I can get it done without getting stressed out because of Cat, but I can also stress out my back because I sit for so long and I don't keep track of the time, so my back gets stiff and sore, and for a while, like the last time I did an illustration, I think it was Chael the Conqueror. That one, I did it, but I did it in pretty much one sitting, and my back was so sore that it hurt for a couple more days afterward, so I need to kind of figure out how to fix my posture. And also take breaks and stretch out, because I mean, it's great to be able to do things in one sitting, but it's also taxing on the back and the body in general. And Ginger, of course, is very understanding. She lets me take breaks and stuff, but I don't like to take breaks, because if I take breaks, then I'll not want to sit back down and get started again. But it also can be beneficial to take breaks, because when you stop making yourself look at what you're working on, then you can kind of see what's not working exactly when you come back to it, because your brain doesn't quite remember it as well as it actually is. So, kind of forget what it looks like exactly, so maybe your brain thinks it's better than it actually is. So when you come back, you kind of get tricked, for lack of a better word. Cat? Seriously? Ugh. I am so tired of this dang cat messing up everything. Just absolutely everything. She knocked over something that had a bit of water in it, and now I have a mess on my desk. She doesn't understand. Doesn't understand anything. Well, she does understand, and she's just a little brat because she knows that it upsets me, and she likes to upset me because she's a brat. In the future, I want to do more things. Like, I'm sure I've talked about them before. For example, wanting to try animation and stuff, and I have a program that I want to attempt learning, I guess, but it's always a bit overwhelming to get started with a new program because everything looks so different from what you're used to, and it takes a while to learn. And at first, it's just kind of, I don't know exactly what to call it. It's just a little bit much. And anyway, I have the free trial of TV Paint, I think it's called, and I'm not sure if I'll like it, of course, until I try it, but the main problem I have is that it's the free trial, and the free trial does not allow you to save your project. So I just have this idea in my head that if I try to use it, then I will end up just losing all my work, and I won't actually work. I won't get anything done. I won't know how I like it because I can't save anything. I understand why that is, because they want you to pay for the full program, but still, it's just very. It's a hard thing trying to get myself to want to use it if I can't save stuff. On the bright side, though, way around that is screen recording, I guess. Not actually sure what the full price of TV Paint is, like for the license to own it. Probably should look that up. I feel like it's like $1,000. I can't afford that. I don't have much money. With Ginger paying me for these illustrations, though, I may end up getting there a lot faster than I think, but I would really hate to spend all that money on um one thing. I'd much rather it be spent on much smaller things instead of one gigantic thing. Especially if said gigantic thing is something I'm not entirely sure I'll actually want to use. That'd stink so badly. But then again, there are lots of things that I would like that are kind of expensive. For example, a camera. I want a camera so I can start doing a bit of photography, kind of get myself out of the house, and yeah. Also getting a fancy bag, and I'm hoping it'll help me tote around stuff so I can get myself out of the studio. Quote unquote studio, anyway, because my studio is my bedroom. And Cat will not go away. Go away, Cat. I am busy. I don't really go anywhere and I don't really do anything, but I still want to do vlogs at some point. If nothing else, and it can be like occasional day in a day in the life of me, if anyone at all is interested in that. And my bird will not shut up. Animals just do not want to leave me alone while I'm busy. A bit random, but I've been updating my video games that I have, and I don't really play many of them. I really only play Final Fantasy XIV at the moment. But I do have other games like Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm and Destiny 2 and anyway, I am updating those, and I was just kind of thinking about World of Warcraft and how I spent a lot of my life just playing that. My brother showed me the cinematic for the next expansion, and I'm just thinking that I'm just so disappointed. I mean, the cinematic is pretty cool. It's really awesome how they did the Warfront thing. They've done that a couple of times now. Actually, I think the cinematics for all the expansions are kind of warlike, but I mean, it's World of Warcraft, so it makes sense. Regardless, I was just thinking that in the last expansions, the kind of point of, in, for example, Mist of Pandaria, is that they were trying to bring the factions together in a kind of peaceful way so that they weren't constantly at each other's throats. But then suddenly, in this expansion, apparently, they're even more so at each other's throats. So it's a little bit annoying because I was kind of hoping that at some point maybe it'd be a little bit less I don't know, hateful, I guess. Like, I know the point of this game is for the two factions to be fighting each other because it's such a PvP related game, and that's great, but I suck at PvP, and I'm just kind of tired of the fighting. Like, myself, in general, I don't like fighting, and I don't like anger and that stuff. So, I was just kind of excited to see where they would go with Mist of Pandaria and all the expansions leading up from that. And they start right back where they jump right back where they started. I mean, I always do this thing where I will get the next expansion regardless of not really playing the game that much anymore. So I just kind of I'm just kind of wondering what it'll be like. Also, the sub-races, there we go, are kind of an interesting idea. I'm curious, if nothing else. It means I'll have to start making new characters, I guess. Because my friends will know this about me. I absolutely love testing out all the classes and all the races because I love the details put into the class's abilities as well as the artistic perspective of the models for the races. So I like just testing out everything essentially. But I always have my main characters, of course, which is typically the first character I make. I have a cat. She was annoying me, so I grabbed her from the floor and I am petting her and she is purring, but I don't know if she's happy or not. I don't know if this is what she wanted, but she's a brat, so it's all she's gonna get. Unless she's gonna get sprayed again. Because apparently spraying doesn't do anything. She is a little brat. Little brat. Anyway. For this illustration, I was going to attempt doing something a bit different and playing with the lighting, and in a way I kind of did do that, but it wasn't really going to come out the way I wanted it to because I'd never done lighting like this before. And the light originally was going to come from behind the overhang of the ground, but it wasn't turning out how I wanted it to, so I switched to the light coming from the left. So Shay, the smaller girl, is casting a bit of a shadow on Jain, the taller one. By the way, if it's not clear, Jain actually has an injured arm, so that's why there's one just hanging straight down. Jain actually is really good with a bow and arrow, and she's typically the one who has to protect Shay, so she's very upset for multiple reasons, because she can't use a bow and arrow anymore, and because she's not really able to protect her unofficial kind of sister. She loves Shay like a sister, but they're not actually related, as far as I know. So yeah. So Jane just kind of feels like she's failed, I guess. Playing with a cat ear. I don't know. Whenever I do these illustrations, I kind of wonder what it'd be like to actually live as these characters, and then I think I'm so glad that I don't, because their life is very perilous, very dangerous, very everything that I would not be able to handle, essentially. Like, they're always facing some kind of danger, some kind of um some just something. It's always something. People like to complain like there's always something going on, but in this book there's literally something always going on. I kind of like that. It makes the book very interesting. It also makes it a bit scary in terms of that undead wolf I did a few illustrations back with Carice running away from it. I'm sorry about Poppy in the background. I just couldn't get him to shut up. He's a noisemaker when he wants to be. I'm sleepy. I don't want to be sleepy. But I want to go back to bed at the same time. Someone help me. Give me energy. Never have any of that. Anyway, hopefully in the future I'll play around with lighting more as well as different types of landscape. For now, I'm almost done. I've got one more thing to do. For some reason, I of course completely spaced out and forgot that, of course, Shay would have a quiver. Because why else would she just be carrying one arrow? So of course I added that in because Ginger noticed it, thankfully. And then that's it. So thank you for watching very much and have a nice day. I guess let me know if you guys are interested in vlogs or anything in the future. Okie dokie. Bye!